Hello, welcome to our channel. Today we're going to talk about something essential in every area of our lives: respect. Have you ever stopped to think about how to earn and maintain the respect of those around you? Whether at work, at home, or in your friendships, respect is the foundation of all healthy relationships. In this video we're going to share 5 key practices that you can start applying right now to become a more respected person. And the best part, everything is based on the teachings of Stoic philosophy. So, if you want to understand how integrity, consistency, and even gratitude can change the way people see and treat you, stick with us until the end. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any content that could transform your life. Let's get started. 1. The foundation of respect, values and integrity. Respect is a value that is built over time, grounded in actions that reflect our values and integrity of character. It is not something that can be demanded but earned through ethical, fair, and consistent behavior. When we live according to solid principles and demonstrate integrity, we naturally gain the admiration and respect of others. Integrity is the ability to do what is right even when no one is watching. This means acting in line with our values, without giving in to the temptation of shortcuts or selfish actions. Integrity is reflected in everyday actions that, though often small and seemingly insignificant, have a significant impact on how we are viewed and respected by others. Practical example. Imagine you find a wallet with money on the street. Even though no one is watching and you have the opportunity to keep the money, your integrity will guide you to return the wallet to its owner. This act, even if not witnessed, strengthens your self-esteem and reinforces the perception that you are a trustworthy and honest person. Stoic philosophy, particularly in the works of Marcus Aurelius, emphasizes the importance of doing what is right, regardless of circumstances or external rewards. He wrote, "Do what is right, it will attract the good and disarm the bad." To earn respect, it is essential that our actions reflect our core values, such as honesty, courage, and compassion. Demonstrate values in everyday actions. Being honest, for instance, even when it may cause discomfort, or keeping promises even when it requires sacrifice, are ways to demonstrate integrity. When people see that you consistently act in line with your principles, they will naturally regard you as someone trustworthy and worthy of respect. 2. Consistency and reliability. Consistency and reliability are essential pillars for building a solid reputation and earning the respect of those around you. These qualities not only show that you are a person of integrity but also demonstrate that others can trust you consistently over time. Being reliable means that people can count on you to fulfill your promises and commitments. Consistency, on the other hand, means acting steadily and predictably according to your values and decisions. This creates a sense of security and trust in others because they know you are a person who keeps your word. Practical example. Imagine you are working on an important project with a team and promise to complete a part of the work by a certain date. If you fulfill this promise punctually and efficiently, your colleagues will know they can rely on you. This strengthens your reputation for reliability. However, being consistent is not just about keeping bigger promises. It also reflects in daily actions such as arriving on time for appointments or being a stable presence in times of need. When people know they can trust you, even in the simplest tasks, it builds a strong image of reliability. A key point about promises: it is essential to make realistic promises. Take on only responsibilities you know you can fulfill. If you commit to something beyond your capabilities, you risk breaking your word and losing people's trust. By being honest about your limitations and capacities, you avoid creating unrealistic expectations and demonstrate a mature form of self-awareness. For the Stoics, like Seneca, firmness of character was fundamental. He believed that a firm and balanced spirit was not swayed by extremes of joy or sorrow but remained stable, regardless of circumstances. Maintaining this constancy in behavior and decisions makes others perceive you as a person of solid principles, worthy of respect. 3. Empathy and compassion. Showing empathy and compassion is a powerful way to build genuine respect because these qualities show that you recognize and value the humanity in others. Empathy is the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes, to understand their feelings and perspectives, while compassion is the desire to alleviate others' suffering or provide support. Together, these qualities create strong and respectful bonds in any relationship. Empathy in everyday actions. Think of a work scenario where you notice a colleague seems down or discouraged. Instead of ignoring the situation, you approach them and ask if everything is okay. This small gesture of empathy shows that you care about their well-being, creating an environment of mutual respect. When people see that you are sensitive to their emotions and needs, they tend to respect you more deeply because they recognize your value as someone attentive and trustworthy. Empathy is a skill that can be improved with practice. One effective way to develop this skill is through daily reflection. At the end of the day, take a few minutes to reflect on how you handled different interactions and whether you could have been more empathetic in any situation. This constant reflection increases your awareness and helps you act more compassionately in the future. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, emphasize the importance of being lenient with others and strict with ourselves. This philosophy reinforces the idea that we should be understanding of others' flaws and difficulties, offering support while striving to improve our own behavior and character. The importance of compassion in difficult times. True empathy and compassion often reveal themselves in moments when someone is going through hardships. Being present and offering sincere help in times of crisis or need builds a deep sense of trust and respect. People will remember how you stood by them in their most vulnerable moments, creating a bond based on mutual respect. 4. The importance of transparency and honesty. Transparency and honesty are fundamental virtues for gaining and maintaining the respect of anyone, whether in personal or professional relationships. These qualities demonstrate that you are a trustworthy person who has nothing to hide and is always ready to be clear and direct in your communications and actions. Honesty is often seen as the foundation of any respectful relationship. When we are honest with others, we show that we respect them enough not to deceive or manipulate their perceptions. This clarity builds trust as people feel they can rely on what we say and do. Transparency goes beyond mere honesty. It involves being open about our intentions, capabilities, and limitations. In a professional environment, for example, being transparent means not only communicating successes but also being clear about challenges or failures that may arise. This openness generates respect because others see that you have the courage to face difficult situations with sincerity, without trying to conceal or manipulate information. Practical example. If you are working on a project and realize that you will not be able to meet the deadline due to unforeseen circumstances, being transparent means informing all involved parties as early as possible. This attitude allows everyone to respond appropriately and find a solution. Instead of trying to hide the problem until the last moment, being honest and proactive demonstrates responsibility and commitment, reinforcing the respect people have for you. Stoic philosophy also values honesty. Epictetus, one of the great masters of Stoicism, believed that being honest with oneself and others was a crucial part of living virtuously. He taught that we should not fear the truth but embrace it, even when it is uncomfortable. For the Stoics, the truth is liberating because it allows us to act in accordance with reality, rather than living in illusions or deceit. Clear and direct communication. Transparency also manifests in how we communicate. Avoiding half-truths, exaggerations, or omissions is essential to being seen as an honest person. Whether in daily interactions or more complex situations, open, direct, and kind communication builds trust and reinforces respect between parties. 5. The art of making realistic promises. One of the most crucial aspects of being respected is the ability to make realistic promises and, more importantly, to keep them. The respect people have for you is closely linked to the trust they place in your word. If you promise something and do not deliver, you risk losing credibility. Therefore, it is essential that the promises we make are based on an honest assessment of our capabilities and available time. Making realistic promises means you need to have a clear understanding of your own limits and the circumstances that may affect the fulfillment of your promises. Many fall into the trap of making grand promises, whether to please others or to avoid disappointment, but this can lead to frustration and loss of respect when those promises are not kept. Practical example. Imagine you are taking on several responsibilities at once, both at work and in your personal life. Someone asks you to take on another important task, and although you want to help, you know it will be challenging to meet the deadline. Instead of promising and failing, the best approach is to be honest about your workload and say that you may not be able to take on more commitments at the moment. This demonstrates maturity and respect for others, as you do not create expectations that you cannot fulfill. Be mindful of expectations. Making realistic promises also involves aligning others' expectations. If you know that something may take longer than expected or that there are factors beyond your control, explain this from the outset. People respect those who are honest about challenges rather than those who make unrealistic promises and then fail to deliver. In Stoic thought, this ability to understand and respect your own limits is an important virtue. Seneca often spoke about the importance of being moderate in our promises and actions. He said that promising something beyond our capabilities is a form of recklessness that inevitably leads to failure and loss of credibility. For the Stoics, wisdom lies in acting within our limits and being always realistic about what we can or cannot achieve. Keeping promises is essential. When you make a realistic promise and keep it, you not only strengthen your reputation but also create a relationship of trust and respect. People will know they can count on you because you are someone who delivers on their promises. This consistency over time solidifies your position as a trustworthy and admired person. Avoid overpromising. Another crucial point is the temptation to overpromise to impress. While this may initially seem like a way to gain approval, in the long run, it can lead to a significant loss of respect if you cannot deliver what you promised. The key is always to maintain a balance between what you can do and what is realistic to promise. Dealing with broken promises. In rare cases where you genuinely cannot fulfill a promise due to unforeseen circumstances, it is essential to be transparent and proactive. Inform all involved parties as early as possible, explain the situation clearly, and offer alternative solutions. This attitude shows responsibility and helps minimize the negative impact, as well as preserving respect, even in difficult situations. Building and maintaining respect in human relationships is an ongoing process that involves practices that promote integrity, transparency, and reliability. By adopting the principles discussed, such as the importance of honesty, the ability to make realistic promises, and the practice of empathy, you will not only become a more respected person but also inspire others to act similarly. Remember that respect is a two-way street. By demonstrating respect for others, you also receive respect in return. If you are committed to becoming a more respectable version of yourself and want to continue this journey of self-development, subscribe to our channel. Join us to explore more about Stoic philosophy and how it can enrich your life. Don't miss our updates and valuable tips that will help you become the best version of yourself. Your journey towards more respectful and meaningful relationships begins now. Subscribe and become part of our community.